My name is Jose Preciado. I'm president of the South Bay Forum, and I want to welcome you all this evening to this important community conversation. I cannot imagine that any of you have not been familiar or become almost too comfortable with the fact that our economy is in a downturn, that the budget, except the federal budget, apparently they can borrow right, as much as they need to. But the state of California is in dire straits, $42 billion shortfall. Why are we here? In every city, the biggest challenge or the biggest opportunity is with the human resource area of the budget. And we in Chula Vista have taken a lot of pride in making sure that as we work forward, we know that the majority of the services we receive are actual services delivered by those human resources. So we think it's an important investment in our city budget to support a strong workforce, a workforce that is well qualified, that is well remunerated, and etc. However, some realities that we need to confront, and these realities are directly related to the lack of resources that we have, and there's no easy solution. Most of you who have read the memorandum from then acting city manager Tulloch saw the initial cut of $20 million, the immediate suggestions, and I think all of us can say that none of us, or all of us can say that we didn't completely agree with the document as it was presented. And community organizations immediately started seeing challenges in their nature center, libraries, police officers, firemen, engineers, pools, recreation centers, all of the various cuts, and that's really challenging. So let me tell you what we're going to do today. We have very structured times. So for the first 5 minutes, for example, we're going to have the 3 organizations, and I just gave my spiel on behalf of the South Bay Forum, but I'm going to introduce the other 2 organizations that are sponsoring this forum to give a few words. Then we're going to have each of the organizations that we invited give a 10-minute presentation, basically a reaction, an initial reaction, or maybe even a longer, not a longer, but a discussion about how they see City of Chula Vista moving forward and responding to their human resource needs and their compensation needs. After they do that 10-minute presentation and all of them speak, then we're going to invite them, as we suggested, to share with us, well, what would you do? If you had the opportunity to advise the city manager, how would you advise? And the opportunity in that advice is to see if any of us in the community can join you in that support, if we're convinced that that's the way to go. And that's why we're here today. Then we've allotted a large amount of time because we want questions. Some of you may have questions. Some of those questions should be illustrative or kind of bring out some of the detail that many of us may not capture because we're not familiar with all of the vocabulary used in these processes. We know what cut means, but beyond that, it might be challenging for us to discuss. And then I invited both Northwest Civic and Southwest Civic and South Bay Forum. We're going to go back to our organizations over the weekend, and we're going to be discussing with them in a very deliberate fashion how we can join with labor, with other entities and stakeholders, and come to City of Chula Vista City Council meeting next Tuesday and next Thursday and say, you know what, we heard some great ideas. This is what we think should happen. We support this initiative. We support that. And hopefully that will lead to some rational conversation. I know that every single one of us can take 150, not on a Friday evening apparently, but at an actual council meeting where they're voting, we can take 50, 60 people and say, the thing I support is the most important thing and I want you to keep it. But we're not there anymore. We are short some money and we have to make some choices, and those choices need to represent our collective values. Without further ado, I want to bring up to the podium Teresa Acero to talk briefly about Southwest Civic Association and their interest in today's forum.
Yeah, good evening and welcome. I'm glad that you were able to come tonight. My name is Teresa Rosero, and I'm president of Southwest Chula Vista Civic Association. We've been in existence for 2 years now as a 501c3, and our purpose in being in existence is to represent the residents and business owners and property owners in southwestern Chula Vista, which is south of L Street and west of the landfill. And we're interested in quality of life issues. We are also interested in environmental justice issues because there are many environmental justice problems in the Southwest, in part of Chula Vista. And we certainly are very concerned about these budget cuts because every time you talk a budget cut or laying off a person, you're talking about eliminating a service. And we, the people, want services because that's critical to our quality of life.
Thank you, Teresa Acero, President of Southwest Civic Association. And I'd like to welcome Georgie Stillman, who's leading Northwest Civic Association for the current period. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm treasurer of the Northwest Civic Association. It's a group that was formed a couple of years ago for the residents who are west of 805 to the ocean and south of 56 Freeway, north of L Street. And we have a mission to educate, inform, and work to protect and enhance the quality of life in Northwest Chula Vista. We're very concerned about these budget cuts. We are here to learn, to work with people, to deliberate in good faith and with respect and compassion. There's very little immediate good that's going to come out of this situation. It's a reality. But we feel that if we treat each other with dignity and intelligence, we can collaborate, we can understand each other and make the best decisions in this time. And I hope, and my organization hopes, that out of this collaborative effort with all of the stakeholders, we consider the city employees and staff and people who work around and in this community as fellow travelers on this way. We want the best for you. That empowers us as people. We all do the right thing. So that's what we're looking for. We're hoping that we build on this discussion so that we open better doors of communication with all of our stakeholders in this community so that we can have a better model for governing our city in the future. Thank you.